you can at any point make Lauren Lopez laugh,
Yeah.
that's like winning an Oscar.
Because she is traditionally a humorless person.
No.
She is stale-faced. You will not crack that. I've not seen her smile in months.
She's a dictator. No, it's
5, 6, 7, 8. We got Big Theater Kid Energy. Hello and welcome to Big Theater Kid Energy, your least pretentious theater review podcast. I am your host, Ryan Garcia, and I just went and saw Tomb Quest, which is the new StarKid production. It is 5 former friends reunite after their friend's funeral and live out his dying wish to finish the Dungeons & Dragons campaign they abandoned in high school. Is Dungeons & Dragons correct? I guess I made that part up.
technically, it's not Dungeons and Dragons copyright. It's Tomb Quest.
It's Tomb Quest 2. Let's edit. We're going to keep it in, but edit. Finish the Tomb Quest campaign that they abandoned in high school.
And this is how we get away with the fact that if we got anything wrong with the game, it's Tomb Quest. So...
Yeah, I even love it at one point. We're jumping ahead already, and I love it. But I love that in it. It's like I'm the GM, not the DM.
Not the GM.
GM, the game master. And you didn't explain what GM was. We just understood that meant game master.
Exactly.
And it was done. Okay, look. You already heard him. You already know who it is. It's on. It's literally the thumbnail. You know where you are. But you may recognize my next guest from a few different avenues, either his recurring role as Nick the Warbler from Glee or his extensive work with the aforementioned internet theater sensation team StarKid. We also share a couple credits, one being the Nickelodeon show Side Hustle, and the other where we play brothers in Edgar Allan Poe's murder mystery Dinner Party, as well as in the upcoming musical production of said Dinner Party. It's the man who wears more hats in this industry than I can keep straight. It's the strappingly handsome Curt Mega.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you for having me.
So,
Seriously, this is great.
So happy to have you here, Curt. Curt, you know what I was thinking when I was watching you on stage? And maybe, do you get this all the time? I was like, whoa, what a Matthew Rhys look.
Dude, no, I've never gotten that. But that's the greatest compliment you could ever.
When I was watching you up there, 'cause I just finished watching Widow's Bay.
Yes.
I was just like, oh my God, he's like a comp for Matthew Rhys.
I'm going to tell my agent that today.
Tell
That's
them
incredible.
To market you as like the strappingly a more American Matthew Rhys.
I love it, man. He's so good.
I know.
I love that. Wow, thanks. I appreciate that. I usually, in the past, I've gotten Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
That's who I always get. And this is also why we play brothers, because we both get Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yes.
We're welcome to the Joseph Gordon-Levitt Doppelganger podcast.
The Timu Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I actually, when I worked in Starbucks,
I worked at Starbucks too.
Are you kidding? Wow.
That was my first job when I moved to LA. Yeah.
Wait, which Starbucks in LA did you work at?
The one by the Sprouts in Burbank, really close to the theater where you just saw the show.
I worked at the one off Barham, like right in that little like Cahuenga Pass spot right there. So I was working there at Starbucks, and this woman came in, and as she walked in the door, she went, "Oh my God, you look like Joe," and it was Joseph Gordon-Levitt's cousin.
Oh, that's crazy!
And she took pictures of me to show to him.
When I was on Glee, the Glee tour, one of the dancers had like dated Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and they'd met on the set of 500 Days of Summer, and she was like, "You look like Joe," and I was like, "Great."
Yeah.
Hook us up so we can do a sibling thing. Never happened. But.
Can you imagine? Let's get on. Is it, I always got this wrong too, because I was like, is it hit record Joe or is it hit record Joe?
I don't know. Are we making a hit? Are we making a hit record? Right.
Or
is
are
it
we
hit record?
Hit record.
I remember I signed up for a hit record like account. And I would go on there sometimes and go, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah.
Conceptually, I love the idea, but I still don't understand what you were supposed to do. So.
But I think his heart was in the right place.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Curt, so you are a big time theater guy.
Yeah. That is like where where I found my love for this was theater. And it's funny because when I moved to LA, I don't know if you had this experience. But I thought I was leaving it all behind. I was like, I'm choosing film. I'm choosing the screen, and it was never going to happen. Like my first big credit being Glee. That immediately opened the door to go back to theater, and it just keeps being a constant in my life. And I feel like in the last few years, I've really started to reprioritize it again in a way that it was like, well, I'll do it when I'm do it when I'm not busy. And now I'm like, wait, this is the thing that I love. I mean, I love film acting. I love being on set, but man, there's just nothing like getting to do something with your friends in real time. And so, yeah, I've just kind of
Absolutely nothing
fallen
like
in
it.
love with it even more so in the last few years than I ever have, I think.
Yeah, I've actually had friends say to me like, "Oh, I consciously avoided theater in moving to LA because I know how much I love it." And the fear was that they would devote all of their time and energy toward that and not be able to have enough left over for film and TV.
Yeah.
Which I kind of disagree. My first like big manager I got was because he saw me in a play.
Yeah.
He saw me in a musical. And it wasn't even like a big musical. It was we were doing these 30-minute musicals. I was doing them for years out here with Brooke Sagan
Yeah.
and Tom the Trinus and I think you know Tom, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
But they were parodies of movies. And we would do them at all these different stages. And like you never know whose manager's just going to show up. And that's how I got my first manager, was him seeing me in that show. And that led to the biggest TV jobs that I booked in 2015, plus like my commercial agent and great commercial audition and a big like March Madness campaign for Toyota. That all came from me doing a piece of theater.
Yeah.
And I was doing it not with the hopes of being seen by anybody.
Whenever I'm in a show, I always feel like the work that I do outside of it, auditions or whatever, in large part because I don't care as much, not like I don't care, but because I'm being so fulfilled creatively doing a show, I feel like I just have way more fun and I like don't overthink the auditions of it all. And I've consistently, when I'm in a show, often end up booking something else because I'm just like, I'm in the zone and I'm doing the thing. And I guess I've, not for everyone, but for me, it's kind of been like, no, this is like home base. This is like doing theater is the essential part of taking care of the emotional, mental, and spiritual part of me as an artist. And then everything else is kind of an extension of that.
But because people can smell that desperation.
Yes.
Like, especially if you only have, like, if you have 10 like let's say you have 5 auditions a week for TV and film, then like nothing can be precious because there's no time.
No. Yeah.
For it to be. But if you only have one audition every 2 weeks, or one audition every week, then that audition, everything, like your entire life relies on that being the thing.
Yes.
And so I'm like, no, live a very creative life. Fulfill yourself elsewhere so that doesn't matter as much.
Yeah. And in post, coming out of the last 5 years of not being able to do it as much, being in a room with people and getting to do that feels so precious to me. It feels like so much more special than it did even back in the day when I first fell in love with it. I kind of pinch myself. I'm like, oh my God, we get to do this and we get to be here. And I'm super lucky that I'm in a community of folks where they've cultivated audiences that show up and care. Cause that, a lot of theater, even when it's just for you, it is hard to get people to show up. It's hard to get people to, theater's a tough ask. In LA, sometimes people are like, I don't know. Theater's tough. And that's why I love the premise of this as a platform, as a podcast, because there's so much good theater in LA.
There's so much good theater in LA.
And just getting to be in a room with people who are invested, that feels kind of miraculous.
And that's not even to mention how many live events there are in LA.
Yes.
Because that's not like fully accounting for all the improv shows, all the sketch shows, all the stand-up comedians, all the music that's also happening. Like there's so many live things happening in LA all the time. That it's an embarrassment of riches for us.
Absolutely.
But to go back to what you were saying, you get to work with these people, the fans. How did you get involved with StarKid in the first place?
Dude, it goes back to my very first day on the set of Glee. This was like 2010, so this is a long time ago. But I had booked this co-star. It was like
When did you move to LA?
2010.
So 2010, you moved to LA and you booked Glee, or did you move to LA because of Glee?
I moved here. I was working at Starbucks, and it was like I moved in January of 2010, and then it was about, I think it was November when that came about.
That's pretty awesome.
And I was it was like a 1-episode, 1-line situation. And so in the scene, they had positioned this one particular scene where we were all like waiting around for a long period of time. Darren Criss, who was one of the, he had just joined the cast, but they had put me next to him and they were like, okay, you guys are kind of here in the scene. And so there's a lot of downtime. And we started chatting. And then one of the first things he talked about was, oh, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I'm part of this thing called StarKid. My friends, we make these musicals. He's like, I'm writing a musical right now. They're in rehearsals in Chicago. It was for a show they were doing called Starship. and he was writing music, and he's like, yeah, I'm like trying to finish the songs, but it's crazy because we're on set. And so he was like, hey, you should come check out the song. And so like during lunch, I went to his trailer, and he like played me a bit of a song called Beauty that Joey Richter would sing. And so I didn't know any of these people at the time. It was just Darren's friends conceptually. But I had heard about Harry Potter, and I knew that was a thing, but I wasn't familiar with it. And so cut to about a year and a half later, no, a year later, we were on tour for Glee. We got to tour.
That's so cool.
It was, I can't believe
what
it happened.
What TV show has that?
It will never happen again. I don't think we fully appreciated it at the time that we were playing stadiums. We were playing Staples Center. We were playing the O2 Arena in London. It was insane. But we were in Chicago, and we had done a show at the Rose Center, wherever the Bulls play, which is crazy. We're out at some nightclub or something. I don't really do clubs very much, and so we were kind of like, I don't know about
I feel like you could slay at clubs, by the way. Like if you had a club time in your life, I feel like you would run that club.
I remember we were there.
Honestly, right now looking at you, the way you're dressed, like I could, and just everything you're presenting right now, I'm like Miami Club owner.
Miami Club, dude.
I buy it.
That's my next venture.
But you're there at this club in Chicago.
Leah Michelle had was like, we're going out or whatever. So we were at this club, and I was like keenly aware that I was like, this is not what I want to be doing. We were like sitting in like a VIP booth where there was just a bunch of people all around, like trying to get photos of the main cast.
Yeah.
And Darren texted us out of the blue and was like, hey, you guys should ditch that. Come meet my friends that I told you about. We're all hanging out here in Chicago. And so we were like, yeah, do you want to leave this nightclub? And we went to Darren's like hotel, and that's where I met Dylan Saunders and Nick Lang and Lauren Lopez, and like all those people were there.
Wow.
And there was just this immediate connection of like, these are like my people.
Right.
And then those seeds were planted, and then over the course of the next few years, we would do things like we would go to fan conventions and events, and all of us would kind of cross over. We were part of this really nerdy thing called like GeekyCon and LeakyCon, and it was like Harry Potter themed.
One quick second. There.
Yes.
LeakyCon?
LeakyCon.
That sounds, I'm sorry that I don't know what it is yet, but so far.
What do you think it is?
I'm just a little disgusted. Like, I don't know what's leaking.
What is
but
leaking?
They should see a doctor instead of going to a conference.
I believe it was a riff on the Leaky Cauldron.
Okay. Honestly, it makes way more sense.
But out of context, it is upsetting.
LeakyCon just sounds like I ate the wrong thing at Taco Bell, and I got that bad lettuce.
Yes, exactly. It was a Harry Potter themed convention.
Oh, cool.
But so a lot of the Harry Potter, this is such a weird whirlwind of things. A lot of the Harry Potter cast was there, but then the Harry Potter musical StarKid cast got invited, and for some reason, 3 of us who were the Warblers with Darren got invited, and we were like, what are we doing here? We're not part of either of these things. And they were like, it's fine. You guys are tangentially related. And we were like, and people, I remember when they announced us, people were like, really? Like, this is a Harry Potter convention. What are we doing? So at the opening ceremony, it was in Chicago, we did like a musical number with Ivana Lynch, who played Luna Lovegood. We like did like a musical comedy thing, and it was like immediately the fans went, oh, okay, you guys are cool.
We accept you now.
You get it. And from that, we kept going back to this event several years in a row, and StarKid would do stuff, and then we would kind of cross over and do some sketches and perform. And then, anyway, this is a long story, but that led to us organically. A lot of them started moving to Los Angeles. And then I did a show called Spies Are Forever with the Tin Can Brothers, which is Brian Rosenthal, Joey Richter, Corey Lubowich, who also worked with StarKid.
Yep.
And then from there, organically, that led to 2019. I did a show called Black Friday. And so, but it all, obviously these are different specific groups, but also there's a big crossover. We did Pope Hardy was Shipwrecked, and a lot of those folks were
the Venn diagram of all of these. So I work with Try Guys.
Yes.
And in Try Guys, they talk a lot about like the BCU, which is the Burbank Cinematic Universe, and that involves Mythical Kitchen, Smosh, Dropout, and Try Guys are all parts. So like there's a lot of crossover back and forth, and it's like, oh, when we're all kind of playing in the same sandbox, why not do a little cross pollination on top of it?
Yeah. that's why I was saying, like, I feel so lucky that this particular group of artists and folks, mostly people who enjoy being funny
Mm-hmm.
and who enjoy musicals and who enjoy theater, all decided to like try to make things. Like that feels, because I have a lot of friends who do theater and all in other places back where I'm from in Texas and other stuff. And, you know, like they do amazing work, but I feel like we get to do really fun stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we get to do stuff that we're not doing Sound of Music. No offense to that show, but we get to like do weird original things that just doesn't happen for most communities. Most of the time, the audience wants very staple, like
Yeah. They want to see
they
what
want
they know.
Oklahoma. They want, and the fact that we get to try things and that fans are like, yeah, we'll be there. Like that's crazy.
And I want to talk about the collaboration with the fans, and I
Yeah.
think we'll get into that as we talk more about Tomb Quest. But let's talk about Colony Theater
Yeah.
to make our way into Tomb Quest and making things that we love. Because I've only been to the Colony Theater one other time. This is my second time going there. And just to talk about it, when I talk about a new theater on here, I give a little bit of just like history backstory. So the Colony Theater is a 270-seat theater in the middle of downtown Burbank, and it was founded actually in 1975 by a group of young LA TV actors who wanted to return to their theater roots. And they were in Silver Lake in that theater. But then in the 1990s, the city of Burbank wanted to expand their arts district, and were like, we will fund to bring a theater here. And they brought the Colony Theater over from Silver Lake to Burbank.
That's crazy.
And yeah, and they it was the money from the city of Burbank is what they used to take a building that already existed and make it into what is now the Colony Theater, which opened in 2000 with this. The theater company is actually older than the building.
right.
And they came in and took over as the
that.
Colony Theater. And then we talked already a lot about Team StarKid. If you're watching this, you probably know what Team StarKid is. But it began in 2009 when a group of students at University of Michigan created a Harry Potter musical, a parody of Harry Potter. If you didn't know that, where have you been? This is the internet. Welcome. And the thing that you were talking about, which I think is so cool, and where I want to kind of talk about the relationship with fans, because I feel like it's so different in different places of entertainment. And I think in a place like Try Guys and that world, and in a place like StarKid and Shipwrecked and Tin Can Bros, it's a very collaborative relationship with the fans.
Yes.
For instance, Tomb Quest raised over $420,000 from nearly 6,000 backers on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And that is because the fans, like when you were saying, oh, the fans of these smaller theaters in Texas or wherever, they have a say. We want to see the shows we know.
Yeah.
And these people, they're like, we want to see the creators that we love make the things that they like to do, because we've already bought in to their tone, their style, their talent, and we trust them. And that trust feels like it goes back and forth
Absolutely.
with the fans. And so as I get into questions about that, and as we get into Tomb Quest, I was just wondering, I lost what I was wondering. I'm wondering so many things that it's hard to pick the one thing.
Sure.
That I'm wondering. Here, I'll tell a story really quick. But when we were doing Poe Party the first time, they had a system where every time $5,000 was added to the Kickstarter, they would reveal a new fan. And depending on who the fan was, a lot more money would come in.
Yeah.
And when you had people who have this kind of more connected relationship with the fans, where there is a give and take, more money would come in, like a Lauren Lopez or a Joey Richter. And then when a Jim O'Hare, a famous, very famous face from Parks and Recreation, gets announced, it didn't have the same effect. And some would say he's actually like traditionally maybe more recognizable.
All of us are like, we would love to be in his situation.
Yeah. And yet he doesn't have that relationship with the fans. And so there's not that like swell of response when he's announced that you would almost expect. So like there's something about that fan relationship that leads to they're kind of like purchasing these early tickets to see a show.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, how has that been for you? What do you feel about that relationship with the fans? Anything you want to say about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a specific and unique model of doing theater, specifically in the StarKid world. I know a lot of different things crowdfund. A lot of crowdfunding that's successful tends to be, I know Kickstarter is a lot like board games and things where there's like a tangible product. And like you said, what I think is so remarkable is the fact that, they had just the year prior to this raised the most money for any theater project ever for the remount of the Guiding Light musicals directed by Lauren Lopez. They raised like $650,000,
Wow.
which is incredible. And so going into Tomb Quest, you know, they had been doing that specific world for about 10 years. This is called Hatchetfield. And so in that world, there was a devoted fan base of people who love these characters in the world. So it was incredible, but not surprising that people showed up. With Tomb Quest, we were like, I don't know. It's a completely different thing. It has no attachment to any previous StarKid stuff. It's just a different vibe. And so I wasn't nervous, but I mean, there was an apprehension of like, maybe people are going to go, I don't really care.
Yeah.
And the fact that despite people having very little information about what the show was, they got a basic premise. The fact that people trusted us enough just to go, I just think you guys are going to make something that I would like.
Yeah.
To contribute $420 something thousand. That to me inspires me so much creatively to go, you've given us your trust. You've given us your literal resources.
Yeah.
It feels like a huge responsibility and a privilege to go, we get to make this now. And we get to try to make it as unique and specific and full of joy as we possibly can. So it's a really interesting dynamic where, you know, and I used to I kind of consciously stopped auditioning for New York Broadway stuff. Probably about 5 or 6 years ago. I would like, hey, I'll be in a Broadway show. But the process I found to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Dehumanizing. Because there it is. I was so spoiled to this relationship where I'm like, we get to come together as friends and make something for an audience who trusts us. And that's the intent versus like I was flying to New York trying to be the most impressive vocally, trying to go, am I even a big enough name to want to like please the investors? And, you know, you see these shows that go up on Broadway that are amazing and then they'll close after a week because there's just this model that feels so untenable. And I don't even know if our model is super, I don't know if you could just tell somebody else to go try this model and it would work. But for whatever reason with this group and these artists and these fans, it has become sustainable in a way that I feel very taken care of as an artist by the group, by the producers, by the cast. Gosh, it's everybody. Everyone's like constantly checking in and being like, are you good? Are you okay with this? Is this choreo okay? Are you feeling it? And I think that is rooted in because it's really good people. Yeah. But also because I think we are like reminded constantly, like we are doing this because of our relationship with the audience who gives us this privilege to do it. And I don't know, it just keeps you humble, but also really reminds you like, this is fun and we get to make something
and
for
so
people.
Grateful.
Yeah.
For the opportunity and to have all those things. Like I'm just with my friends telling a fun story. Yeah. I learned so much from Keith of the Try Guys and the way that, because he's a tall man.
Yes.
He's a tall, like anybody else, like there's a thing about fame, but then if you're also on top of that 6'3", you're just like a little flag that's walking around that catches people's eyes. So he can't walk around like a Disneyland. He can't walk around even just like certain. Whenever I'm out with him, he gets stopped multiple times.
Absolutely,
and he is so gracious and warm and thoughtful with every single fan that he comes up to, because he's aware, like the only reason I'm doing what I'm doing is because you care. Yep. And so if you care, then hi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
There's another layer to it as an actor and artist, which I find to be so gratifying, which is a lot of times you put work out there, especially television work. Yeah. It's amazing being on set. It's awesome. But then frequently the experience of the episodes you're in coming out is a little cold. You're like, there it is. Yeah. Does anybody? Okay. Like, it's actually very anticlimactic. Yeah. And I've never been a series regular, so maybe that's a little bit of a different experience. But to be able to like create a character and not just have the audience, in our case, enjoy it and laugh and be moved or whatever, but then our audience will go so far beyond that, and they will write about our characters. They'll you know, there's a lot of fan fiction that gets written, but there's also just a lot of really thoughtful, in-depth commentary, and like people will make videos and like it is so gratifying to have somebody come, 10 years removed from a show be like, I was rewatching this show and I really got this sense that your character, and you're like, and sometimes it's stuff
It
that
really engages me. Like, I want to create because you're so
Yes.
invested.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And I've gathered ideas. I did this show called Spies Are Forever about 10 years ago. And the fandom that has arisen over that show and the amount of thought and care people have put into those characters that, truth be told, when we did it, it was 6 weeks of our life. And we're kind of like, okay, there it is.
Yeah.
And people are like, I have gotten so many ideas that I'm like, oh, if I ever get a chance to do that again.
Yeah.
Like I've gotten so much from fans who gave a crap about our characters enough to keep living with them and imagining them. Like that just doesn't happen very often. That is I don't think for most people doing theater, the night begins and ends at the theater. And you go, that was great.
Yeah.
I had a great time. And for some reason with this audience, and it's same with Shipwreck, same with Tin Can, but all these people take these characters and they really it becomes their character.
Yeah, they make it their own.
Then that's the best thing,
Curt, look, gosh, we're so off track because because when you're talking, I'm like, yeah, keep saying it. I want to know more. This is so great. But we got to talk about Tomb Quest. We're here to talk about Tomb Quest. So let me just tell you about my experience with Tomb Quest. Because I walked in and immediately, so I'm with my friend Izzy Feliciana, and I invited her. She's one of my acting students. We're also both part of the same theater company. I am a theater company out here. And I was like, oh, I know she's a huge fan of StarKid. Our first experience is we see people like the audience walking up and they're in full elf ears, full on like, D&D type outfits.
Yeah.
So much cosplay. I talked to this one guy who had built his own, dice rolling staff. It was a wizard staff made out of some crazy material that actually had dice built into the staff and then a little ball on the top with a D20 in there that you could roll the staff around and pound it down and that would roll for you.
That's incredible.
He let me use it. It was so cool.
That's so cool.
We were like, oh, we're so underdressed for this. But like that was our first experience walking into it.
Yeah.
We're already like in the world.
Yeah.
On the streets of Burbank.
Yeah.
On the way into the theater. And then you get into the actual space. And before I even talk about any of the other creatives, I need to talk about Lex Gernon-Wyatt, who did the set design. And I think also Megan Lloyd, who was prop master.
Yes.
Because you are awash with a dense universe on stage. You're in the basement, and it is jam-packed with story.
Yes.
Everywhere you look. And then even as he turned to me, he's like, oh my God, what? Like, how exciting that you just get to like use all of that in the show. And then we just kept getting surprised by each new set piece and how it was able to be interacted with, and each new just item that would become part of the story because it was in arm's reach of the actor in that moment. And clearly it was well choreographed and blocked, but it really felt like we were just like making the world what we had around us.
Lex and Meg did such an amazing job that I think the challenge with this show is, and Lex said this too, of you want it to feel lived in, but you don't want it to feel cluttered in like a, oh my God, it's messy and I feel like upset way. And I just thought he did such a beautiful job of making the space feel so lived in, but like a place you want to hang.
Yeah.
Like when we walked in and saw the set, we were like, I just want to be here. I just want to like vibe in this place. And then Meg, who is such a phenomenal artist. Meg is also an animator, a remarkable animator.
Who is in charge? I don't want to give anything away, but who is in charge of the big puppet? Do you know how like later there's a puppet that speaks when Lauren Lopez's character is kind of in the in between space?
That is a combination of I believe Lex and Meg and Nick Lang, who is an incredible, by the way, maker of puppets.
Okay, cool.
Jim Henson 2.0. Genuinely, if that's what he wanted to do, he could probably do that. But anyway, and then also Brandon, our lighting designer, who also coordinated with the bulbs.
Too. Oh my God!
But they just created this world that's like a very tactile and and that's a really hard thing to do. That like feels cluttery in a way that feels comforting and familiar, but not like, oh God, can you clean up?
The one I'm talking about that I don't want to reveal is also just like things that fit the universe of the basement, but then surprisingly also become part of the mystical world of Tomb Quest.
Yes. Yeah, and that was the joy of the show, is the idea that we never leave the space, but things in the space that are very normal and very average can, with the power of imagination, become whatever you want
A
them
lamp
to be.
monster.
Yes.
That was honestly scary.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
At times, like, that thing is good.
Yeah.
I was so impressed by that, as well as Mariah Harrison, who did costume design. They were not only such cool costumes, but they were able to be on-off switching.
Yes, and a reversible, very practical. Like there's elements where it starts as one thing and you flip it around, it becomes
Was your vest a two-way vest?
The vest was a two-way vest, you know. So like a lot of, again, lived in world, like in the world that can then transform into that.
And as they evolve, as we get deeper and deeper and more like giving into the story.
Yes.
As AJ's character really takes on the character he does.
Yes.
That like in Act 2, that where it started from gets even more massive and terrifying. It's the tech on this show and the lighting. There were times in the lighting where I was like, how are these two people next to each other on stage and completely opposite lit? Like AJ's in the blue and you're all in a swirling warmer light behind him. I was like, but so separate. And then snap, we're back in reality. Then snap, we're back in the mystical world.
The hardest part of the rehearsal process was trying to imagine those elements. And huge shout out to Nick, director, and Allie Gordon, who was our assistant director, because we were sitting there and they're like, so this is gonna happen, and you go, what does that mean? What do you mean? What is that? And then this, and you go, I don't understand what. And so they had a real vision for what it would look and feel like before there was anything, which honestly for us in rehearsal was like, what happened? Because it could be really silly. There's a lot of casting of spells and it could feel pretty silly. I could imagine to some extent that must be like in a superhero movie, how it must feel very strange to be in a green screen and going, hopefully it looks good later.
Doctor Strange doing all of his.
Yeah. And so there was a real vision from the creative team of like, don't worry, that'll sound cool.
And they were right.
Yeah.
Like, I got to just talk about like, I'm talking right now just about that technical level of it, but that really set up a wow and cool factor that was also bolstered by the story, the voices, the choreography, and all of your performances.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was wonderful. Like, I just want to start I'm not saying from the top because we are in the middle. Let me say from the middle, I love Tomb Quest.
I'm so glad.
That was so
I'm so
cool.
glad. Great.
And to have Izzy next to me, who's like a super fan.
Yeah.
She literally looked to me after the show and says, I think I just witnessed history. She's like, this may be the best StarKid show ever.
It was really special. Last night was opening night. And, with theater, it's like, you don't really know what it is until there's an audience.
Yeah.
Like you have a sense of it. You're like, here's what I think it's going to be. But it was incredibly satisfying and meaningful last night to finally have an audience hear it and to feel them pick up on what we were like, I hope this translates. I hope this emotional idea comes through. I hope this joke comes through. It was so cool to be like, oh, you guys are. It made me feel, not that I was apprehensive, but it made me feel like so excited for the run of the show to go, okay.
I could
they're with
sense
us.
the shift from the audience when you all were like, oh, we can settle in. Like they are, even if things go awry,
yes,
they are so with us, which I do want to talk about one moment.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just going to allow that this is ADD. That the structure is out the window, and we'll get to what we get to in this order that we get to it. But this is what I want to talk about. There's always going to be some technical thing that happens in a show, and I want to know what goes through your brain because it happened to you all last night. Kim's mic went out during maybe one of my favorite songs, which was your guys' song Role Play, which is so clever and so funny.
Yeah.
The bits in that are out of this world, but at one point her mic was fully gone and clipping while she was, and she didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
You didn't miss a beat, but in your brain, what are you doing?
I was about 2 seconds away from going, okay, we're going to ditch the choreo and I'm going to go stand next to her and she's going to sing into I would literally be like, okay, she could just sing into my face and we could waltz or tango or something. And then somehow, I don't know what happened.
How did they fix that?
It came on and we were like, okay.
That's okay. I'm so glad you said that because that's what I was thinking for you.
Yes.
But we, of course, you were because we have Starbucks. We have We're Brothers.
Yes.
We have Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yes.
We are the same.
Mind melding.
We're mind melding at that moment. I'm like, he's thinking right now. I have to run over to her and be her mic.
Yep. Which is like, I think that's happened several times in different shows I've been in. Never to me, but someone's mic goes out and then you go, let's just all lean in real close and use each other.
Use what's working.
But no, her mic, it came through, which I was so glad because it's such a fun moment where we've already had one song in the show, and or we've had two songs at the point, but it's kind of the moment that we start to go a little fantastical, and I was like, no, not this, but it worked
Yeah.
out, so it was great. But in general, I mean, having technical mishaps with this group of people, it always sucks. Sometimes fans are like, I love it when things go wrong. We do not love it when things go wrong. It's not but I feel totally safe, and I feel like we will all help each other. There's no feeling of like I'm going to be left out to dry. So
no, the one thing I do like about one thing I like about when something goes wrong is it wakes me up.
Sure,
It's
you're
like opening night, I don't need to be woken up.
yes.
Opening night, I'm awake.
But like Sunday matinee, weekend 3, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
we are doing a show.
I don't mind being woken up there because I trust that I will be able to handle it because I'm a
Yes.
professional and I'm surrounded by
Yeah.
professionals that are also going to have ideas of how to fix it.
Exactly.
And so I don't mind there. But we don't need an opening night.
Yeah.
Just let things go swimmingly. We're already dealing with enough plates that
Yeah.
we're spinning for the
Yeah.
first time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that was really, I was so excited when it came back because that song specifically, I mean, there were so many incredible songs, but that song specifically, I was like, this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Clark Baxter, who wrote the score, and then Eric Congale, who co-wrote the script and also co-wrote the lyrics, like they do such an amazing job. Clark has always done this. He wrote Spies of Forever, the show that I did. He wrote the show called VHS Christmas Carol. He's written stuff over the years. He also writes jingles professionally for commercials and stuff.
He also wrote This Can Be on Broadway.
Yes.
Did the music for
Yes.
This Can Be on Broadway that I was in with Tin Can Bros.
But something about his lyrics, he melds together the lyrics and the sound of the song in a way that feels so harmonious, where like the thing that you're saying is funny, but the way that it plays out melodically is also funny or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't write music, and so I wish I had the language to better describe it.
But I think because you understand comedy, you can understand that like there is a rhythm to comedy, and he knows, okay, the setup must be like this, and then I will break the tension with the punchline, or the joke is already built into it, and so I'm going to mislead them to make them think that this is a melodic thing, but actually it has a joke built into it, and we didn't see that coming.
Exactly.
Like he's aware of how to surprise somebody into the joke.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and it's just so fun to not feel like you then have to. Some like musical theater, it feels like you kind of have to force, like, I'm gonna make this funny, a weird voice or something. And with Clark stuff, you go, I'm just gonna sing it.
Yeah, when the writing is good, get out of the way.
Yeah.
That's what they say. But then the choreography and the bits that you guys did physically, I'm sure that was some of the things that you guys put together. I know Lauren Lopez is also a choreographer.
Yes.
She's very funny, so I'm sure it was a collaboration as well.
Lauren Lopez choreo is so fun because she knows that most of us are not good dancers.
Yeah.
So thank you, Lauren, for knowing our limitations. She's a phenomenal dancer.
Yes.
But she always choreographs in a way that is so in service of the piece. Like the whole premise of this show was like Scooby-Doo characters. So we're little guys running around, very like cartoonish. But I'm slow to learn choreo, but when I finally learn her choreo, it's so fun. It's like, it's so rooted in, again, the comedy. It's like, I don't have to go, what is my move here? Everything is rooted in like, well, of course I'm doing this. Yeah. It's part of this moment.
It's part of the motivation already.
And as a director herself, because she directed Guy, did like musicals last year, she just has such a great sense of the stage picture. And so there's moments where we were learning choreo and rehearsal, and you'd kind of like, I don't quite know what this number is. And then I would watch the video playback and I'd go, oh, that's so funny. Oh, wow, look at that. Like I didn't even realize the picture she was creating. So she's a very visual artist as well. And yeah, I can't speak highly enough of her. She's gracious to us.
I got to go to Edinburgh with her to do Lottie Platchett Took a Hatchet.
Yeah.
And she's one of the best there is.
Dude, she's I think last year Will Branner, who played Higgins in the Remount, said this, but he's like, if you can at any point make Lauren Lopez laugh, that's like winning an Oscar.
Because she is traditionally a humorless person.
No.
She is stale-faced. You will not crack that. I've not seen her smile in months.
She's a dictator. No, I think we all value her sense of like,
totally.
We're like, if Lauren likes it,
then it's good.
It's good. You know what I mean?
Because she has very good taste.
Yes.
She's a taste maker and she's a taste decider. So the creative team, as we've already talked about a little bit, but the book was written by Matt Lang and Eric Congale. music by Clark Backstresser, and then lyrics by Clark and Eric, directed by Nick Lang, choreography by Lauren Lopez, and music direction by Matt Dahan. Because that was the crazy part. I sat next to Clark last night.
Yeah.
That was Clark's first time
Yeah.
getting to see the show.
Yeah.
Because he lives in Chicago with, he has a child,
Yes.
a 2-month-old baby.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was also, he came in right at the beginning of our like sound check. And it was so fun to watch Clark sitting there hearing us sound check, and he was going. And we were like, Clark, are you good? And he was like, it sounds so much better than I thought it would. And we were like, okay, great. That's
Every
awesome.
time a song would start, I just see Clark go. He was he'd do his little prayer hands and he'd really lean forward and focus in. It was so cute. Can I say, okay, a few things I want to talk about.
Please.
So everyone has their character and then also the character that they play. I thought in the writing and also in the performance, there was the perfect amount of Boner Lord use. Like, I don't want any more or any less.
Or less, yeah.
It didn't get overused to where Boner Lord lost its joke, and it was still, to the final moment, funny. I just think that takes a lot of restraint as a writer to be like, okay, we're going to make this one character named Boner Lord, but we can only say it 8 times.
And that's I feel like Boner Lord and the joke around it feels very distinctly StarKid, where you go, there's going to be some heart and emotion, but like, we're going to make some dick jokes. We're going to do the thing. And I mean, Joey plays him so perfectly and beautifully, but I do think you point to a really smart thing in the writing, which is that could feel very immature, and it is because he is.
Right.
But I feel like he's seated in there enough to remind you we're in a comedy, and there's some like great moments where the things get a little heavy, and then he pops in and breaks the tension, and and it's Joey. And so, watching Joey do anything, it's like, I think that Joey could probably go farther than that if they wanted him to, but I think he's also playing a nice amount of restraint and like feeling that juxtaposition between serious and ridiculous and stupid, which is what StarKid is.
Totally.
Yeah.
I also find it so lovely. It's so funny that there's 6 people in the cast, and 4 of those people are married couple.
Yes. Yeah.
Joey and Lauren and you and Kim.
And Joey and Lauren are some of our dearest friends, and I feel a distinct amount of like, I was like overwhelmed especially going into tech and opening. I just was like, had this sense of like, I get to do this with my wife and like our like friends that I love. And like obviously AJ and Corey too, but like, I don't know. It's just, there's something really special about the fact that we all hang out for real and like we get to do, I don't know. But I think that also is baked into why the show feels very comfortable, at least for me. So I was like, I know these people.
So
this
much.
is like, this is
Solid
dinner.
Squad is also Joey and Lauren.
Joey and Lauren,
And then the other people. There's Ashley Clements and
Ashley, Gabe, and Brian,
which Gabe is also a part of.
Yeah,
this project.
Gabe is going to be playing Lucian the last week when I'm doing Poe Party with you guys. So yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and
is that happening as well with Joey and Lauren? They're not going to be there the final week.
Yeah. So
because they're double booked.
Yeah, we're double booked. We're doing 2 shows. So yeah, Janaea, Milani Jones, who was in VHS Christmas Carol, she's playing Sammy, and then
James Beardsley.
James Beardsley is going on for Joey. So and then actually what's really cool with this show, all of the understudies are actually going on for at least a performance or 2 regardless.
Like that should, I know. Look, I wonder about this. Because if as like a lead performer, would I want to give up a performance to an understudy? Depends. Is it a month-long performance? Month-long of shows? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
A month longer? Yes. 2 weekends? No.
Yes.
I don't want you to have an understudy performance.
Yes.
But if it's past that, then I'm like, yes, please take a weekend. Do 2 shows.
We're getting to do with this run. I think it's 6 shows or 7 shows. Basically, we're doing Wednesday nights through Sundays. And so what's nice about that is it feels like we'll really get a flow. In the past shows that we've done have only been 1 or 2 weekends where there's only 3 or 4 performances. And and then you're like, the show ends and you're like, oh, I just figured out what I wanted to do. But it's really nice with this because I feel like we'll have a nice long run to find it. And then also the wonderful work the understudies have put in, and they are so prepared and they're so ready. They'll get to go on and they'll get to showcase that. And they've really got our backs, and it's helped us. I also feel extremely lucky that StarKid and Shipwrecked were willing enough to work with all of us. Like, we're willing to be like, we like you enough in this that we're gonna deal with the juggling of that. That's like really, I feel really privileged that that's even a feasible thing, that we get to go do another show at the same time. So that's an amazing thing. But yeah, the understudies are amazing, and the show is deceptively complicated because
I don't know that it's deceptively complicated. It's complicated.
I thought it was going to be easier. I was like, oh, we're just hanging out.
Yeah,
this is gonna be easy.
No, I'm watching this show and I'm like, oh, this is like, you got to know everyone's shit.
Yes. Yeah.
You got to know where they're going to be, where they're getting stuff. Because I saw at one point, I saw something that went not perfect.
Probably.
AJ Holmes, by the way, I'd never seen him perform. I don't really know anything about AJ.
Dude.
Oh my God.
Dude.
This man, the voice, the presence, the understanding of character, the way that he exists on that stage, I was like, what a great leader of the friend group.
Yeah.
And also like the driving force of the show.
Yes.
He blew me away. But there's one point where he's all the different things that you're dealing with on like the final level or something, and he's like, he takes the clothing rack and goes crazy with it, but then he takes the body of like a wardrobe model, and he goes to get a wand. And I think he couldn't find the wand because when he saw him go stage left and kind of look and not find it, so he ran stage right and grabbed his little lute or his little flute thing and just like, or his recorder. That's what it was. He went and grabbed the recorder and used that as his wand. I don't think that's supposed to be the wand.
That was probably the hardest thing in tech for AJ. There's a lot of the show is us sitting around going, there he goes, there AJ.
Yeah, right.
Watch him go. We're just on a
building.
couch and he is. He's doing a lot of stuff where he's pulling at a random prop. And so a lot of tech was just going, which cubby do I pull that thing from? But I loved watching AJ work. His process was so cool. And he's such a pro. I mean, he did Book of Mormon for, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years or something. And, he's done Broadway stuff, but like, it's funny because in my head, I'm like, oh, he's so legit. But he's so collaborative. There's no pretentiousness to it. But his process was so interesting because he loves to just drill things over and over. And so we would be like doing, like, especially the stuff where he's really leading the story. And most of the show is him narrating. Right. Very complex.
And also setting the new tone, not only for you guys as the characters, but also for the audience. We have to actually believe that we're going from this basement into
the world, and watching him just drill things and, not get it the first time. And then I know sometimes when I don't, I feel like, oh, I messed it up. And he was really great. Can we do it again? And he would do it again. And he would do it again. And all of a sudden, you would just be like, oh my God. And you just see him working and working and working and working. And I don't know how he learned those lines. I don't know. Yeah. It's an insane amount. But truly is carrying the show on his back.
That lesson is huge.
Yeah.
And especially one that I have to remind myself of too. When I am going for something, especially when it's like for the first time, I have this expectation on myself that I'm going to show, look how great I am at learning
I killed
something.
it. I crushed it.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
How good I am at learning something. They want to know, am I going to be able to perform on the day?
Yes.
And like for me, that's going to mean messing up a bunch of times until it's so in my body that I don't have to think about it. So I can actually be free to be thinking of the character thoughts.
Absolutely.
Rather than thinking this cubby, that cubby, here I grab it.
He would always, we have the option in rehearsal when we're learning it to use the demos or to work with, to just have Matt, our musical director, play it. And AJ, a lot of us were like, let's do the demo.
Right.
And AJ would be like, give me the music. I want to sing it.
I think that's so smart.
And we were like, okay, AJ, he's a pro. We gotta step it up,
I'm sure
man.
he would struggle through it sometimes.
Yeah, no, totally. He'd be
and
like,
just be like, da 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 da, when the words wouldn't be there, but he can still do the motion. Like, okay, so the motion's in, the words aren't there. Let's do it again. I can put some of the more of the words back in.
Yeah, they were.
It's just knowing your brain.
Eric and Clark were saying in their head, they were like, AJ reminds me, they were saying they remind him of Jack Black. This kind of energy, especially there's a song called Final Level, which is very Tenacious D coded.
Yes.
And, but yeah, like that, like ability to be manic, but so precise at the same time. But, yeah, what a man. He's a star. AJ's incredible.
Absolutely. AJ's incredible. We already talked about how much we love Lauren. Joey is a comedic powerhouse in this. Kim and you have like the most I mean, obviously you have like the most incredible chemistry, but seeing the two of you who are like, we don't have any issues looking each other in the eye or holding hands, and I have to play these characters that have like this. Do you? I don't know if you do.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I can. Do you like me? I'm afraid to say something because I don't want to ruin the dynamic. It was so fun to see you two play into that, and it was so funny, and it just had like laughs for days, but then also heart for days. I loved Act 2, Scene 1, where we got to see some of the real story behind that. I thought that was like some of the most grounding moments of the show.
Kim plays it so beautifully in that there's not a ton of time dedicated to let's really explore the inner life of these characters. But it inspired me to want to bring more to it, watching her sing several of the songs where she's singing in character as her game character, but there's this undercurrent of what she's really longing for. Her character is longing for connection, wanting to have love in her life, feeling alone. And she does that really beautifully in ways that you go, we don't really stop and go, what is that about? But you feel it.
Yeah.
She's a great actor.
She's a great actor, and you both make each other better. It's so clear. And both your voices meld together so beautifully and are so gorgeous on their own.
We give each other a lot of notes.
Oh, good. Do you really?
We do.
I love that.
We go, hey, you were a little late on that step.
Thank you so much. I really
she'll
appreciate
be like,
you.
I know. Well, you were.
I actually wasn't going to say anything, but now that you brought it up. Since we're a married couple.
I don't know, the most fights in love, like loving fights, never dangerous relationship ending fights, but most of our conflicts occur around auditioning and self-taping each other.
Same.
Yeah, that's
no, Kelly, I've talked about it in here before. Kelly used to be, and sometimes she slips back into it, very bad at self-taping. Not because she's a bad actor, she's a very good actor. And not because she gives bad notes, she gives very good notes.
Yeah.
But she forgets that I have an ego.
Yes.
And that I'm sensitive. And that I'm also like, I'm trying to put something together for the first time.
Yep.
So like, as someone who also like coaches and tapes people, I'm aware there has to be a moment of, love that. That was great.
Yeah, I go,
okay.
I just need you to tell me it's good first.
Please start with it's good and then tell me what you think could improve it. But she was like, I didn't believe that.
Yes.
Like,
or
ow!
the like, are you going to do it like that? Or,
Oh.
and you go, well, I was.
Yeah, actually.
What's wrong with it?
I was. Yeah. And then I get defensive. I'm like, well, actually, I've spent a lot more time with this material than you have. So I think maybe I know what I'm talking about. Like, it's never good. We've gotten much better.
Yes.
But that is where problems can arise.
It's funny. You know, it's funny with Kim, though. We've worked together a bit, but our first show we ever met in was a musical called, we did Carousel together. She was Julie Jordan and I was in the ensemble. But then we did a show called The Light in the Piazza where she was the lead, and I played a character named Fabrizio, and we fall in love. And that was our first show. We did this many, many, many years ago. We have not gotten to play opposite each other, like in a will they, won't they thing since then.
Wow.
We've been in shows where we've been like goofy characters with each other.
Yeah.
We were like in a show called Nerdy Prudes where we were like very like Leave It to Beaver, husband and wife, but it's goofy. So this was the first time in many, many years that we've been able to really have this like really genuine kind of relationship of who are we to each other and that sort of romantic will they, won't they. So that was really cool.
A return to form.
Yeah, it was cool to like, it's funny because we're like, well, obviously you two have chemistry, but we actually hadn't done that with each other in a long time. So it was nice to be like, oh, wow. You're a great actor. Cool. This is great. We're not just acting in a self-tape with each other, which is nice.
And the last person I want to really talk about is Corey Doris, who, not a huge lift asked of, and yet the emotional core,
the heart of the show,
of the entire show, to win the moment that he re-enters at the end. The tears and the sniffling that I heard all around me, and the cheers, like the emotional release from that moment was palpable in the house. I don't know if you could hear the sniffling from the stage, but it was echoey.
There's a moment he does that really got me last night. I wasn't acting. I kind of like burst into tears, and I wasn't trying to. There's a moment where he's been this sort of larger than life, fantastical wizard character, and he finally drops the facade for a moment, and he just talks to us as friends. And the way that he does that, it's one line, but it's this subtle and small transition where you go, that was the friend that has been there and missing. And man, Corey is such a phenomenal actor, and he's so very nuanced in what he does. And even in other shows, like in Guide and like musicals, he has this relationship with Mariah Rose Faith's character as the dad, and there's so much heartbreak and angst. And Corey is just a phenomenal actor, just in a very subtle and small way, which I think sometimes on stage might be, I don't want to say overlooked, but he's doing some work that I think people maybe should like really lean into and like go, ooh, what is he doing here?
And what's great about the Colony Theater, because this audience is so raked, it feels like a smaller, there doesn't feel like it's a bad seat in the house. I think everyone has real access to see your eyeballs on stage, to really get that close connection. The show, Tomb Quest, you got to go see it. I honestly think like it's just so intricate, so smart, so clever, so well performed. Every aspect, I mean, I've talked about every aspect of it. It needs to be seen. It's running through August 23rd.
I think the biggest thing I would say too is it is so much about what we care about. The show moves me a lot because it is about friends getting together and being creative, not for any, their characters in the world. Like they're not going to get rich and famous because of this. They're not profiting from this. They are just gathering together to play and imagine because they can. And that feels like maybe the most essential thing to me as a person. And so, yeah, if you like love stories about creativity and just the joy of making things, like that's why I was so compelled by when I read the script. I was like, this is everything I believe in. Just making stuff with your friends and then seeing what happens and letting that. There's a lyric in the show that says like, there's other things to do, but I'm choosing this with you. And I'm like, that's all I want in life.
That's really
it's like
beautiful.
we could go do anything else, but we get to like get together and try to make something and see what happens. And that's pretty magical.
That is so magical. And the last thing I want to say, get from you is like, I'm a utility player.
Yeah.
Seems like you're also pretty much like a utility player. Like you could be asked to do many different things, not only as different characters on stage. Like I'm sure you have a whole trunk of characters you can pull from, but it also feels like you do a lot of different things. What hats do you wear?
Oh man. I mean, I still feel like first and foremost, I feel like I'm an actor and performer, but in that I wanted to make more work for myself. I started teaching myself filmmaking. So like I'm a director. Which is awesome. I love being on that side of the camera. I also do a lot of film editing and a lot of narrative stuff. Voice actor. What else do I do?
Are you a fight choreographer?
I have done fight stuff.
Yeah.
I have let my like credentials lapse. But I did that back in the day.
What I'm saying the hats are aplenty.
Yeah. And then I also coach and I teach and I write. So I feel really lucky that in the last few years, I'm like, I do get to spend every day in some capacity doing one of those things.
So here on the Joseph Gordon-Levitt Doppelganger podcast, we let you know that we do a lot of different things. We're real Renaissance men.
We do a lot of stuff.
We get a lot of stuff here, and we want you to go and follow Curt at his location on Instagram. So what's that handle, Curt?
I'm at Curt Mega everywhere. CurtMega.
So go follow Curt.
I'm there.
Go see this show.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna film it at all?
Yeah, we're filming a pro shot. So we'll be filming first weekend and we're doing pickup days throughout the week. So there'll be a digital ticket that'll come out shortly after, and then later on, either this year or early next year, an actual pro shot that will hit YouTube that anybody can watch.
So that's friggin' awesome.
But it's not the same as seeing it live.
There's nothing like seeing it live.
You should come see it live.
Also, you can do both.
You can do both.
I saw Hamilton live multiple times, then I still watched the Disney Plus version of it. I'm like, yeah, I want all of these formats.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I haven't watched yet because the movie means too much to me?
Which one?
Newsies.
I have a hot take on Newsies. I love the movie. The movie is the reason.
movie is it for me.
Yes, the movie is the reason. When I was like 8 or 9, I went, I want to do this.
Curt, stop.
And then
we can't at the end discover more parallels. There's no time.
I auditioned for the Broadway show, and I couldn't go to the callback because Glee was like, you have to come back and film.
Glee.
But then I saw the show, and I kind of, it did not do what I wanted it to do.
See, I'm sure the show is great. I have too much nostalgia.
Yes.
I cannot go and see them.
They're too good of dancers in this show. I want to see Christian Bale kind of barely getting through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he's just a kid trying to get to Santa Fe.
Yeah.
That's all he wants.
That's all he wants. And it's like they're messy. You know what? Okay, I know we're ending, but Newsies for me made me feel seen as somebody who wanted to do theater and wasn't a great mover. But I was like, oh, but I don't need to be. They're athletic.
I can jump and kick. Yeah, anytime I'm on a set, let me jump on something.
Yes,
let me get on top of it. I'm doing Newsies, even if nobody wants me to do Newsies.
I want to get on the fan. I want to spin around.
In Edgar Allan Poe, there's a moment where I was like, I should probably get up on the table here, right? And the choreographer, James, was like, Well, that could be option B.
That's a great James impression. I don't know about
And
that.
then William Joseph Stribling that didn't hear that conversation. He like came over. He's like, "What if Ryan got on the table?" And I was like, "I guess it's option A."
Newsies? Are we Newsies fans? That's so funny.
So I'm really hoping I can climb up on that table. Pair of new shoes with matching laces.
A permanent box at Sheepshead Races.
See, I knew it. I knew it lived in him. Anyway, thank you so much for watching Big Theater Kid Energy all the way to the end. As always, let me know any shows you want me to see, any guests you want me to have on, any segments you think should be a part of the show. I have been incorporating segments. It's been really cool to hear from you about them. And also, leave a review. Give us 11 stars.
Yeah.
On every platform you can.
Do it.
And go support your local theater.
Do it.
Please. Bye! We got Big Theater Kid energy. Look out, we project, we sing out, Louise. Never mark it, always go full out. John Patrick Shanley never had a doubt. Our voices are warm, and kicks are high. We've got perfect form. We say, thank you, five. Grab your prop, charge all the glow tape. Curtains going up. 5, 6, 7, 8. We got Big Theater Kid.